Warning, vulgar senior citizens ahead. This is Lee and Michelle, January 28th, 2017. Resistance chicks coming at you. This lady literally makes my skin crawl.
The View, the armpit of television.
It does stink.
Sometimes they have these little things on there, and you just gotta watch it like a moth to a flame.
It is just like a moth to a flame.
Omarosa has shut down these ladies on The View.
Our grandma told
you.
us, like, this is a new show, The Apprentice, coming out. We have to watch it. So as a bonding experience, we watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons with our grandma of The Apprentice. We know who
is actually working for the Trump administration.
Who Omarosa
America
is.
first met Omarosa as the supervillain of the first season of The Apprentice, and now she's working for him again as assistant to the. No, you never heard that, Omarosa?
Not supervillain.
Oh, just villain. Okay.
That's plain stuff.
Now she's working as the
She was
director
kinda
of
nasty.
communications
No, she was awful.
for the
It was
Office
hard
of
to watch
Public
her.
Liaison. Please welcome Omarosa.
Yay, la la la.
My dear, you look very good.
You look good, I look good, we look good.
So you're
really
working
like this
for
show.
the Donald.
Well, this is my first time back in 13 years. I was here on the first season of The Apprentice.
Has it really been that long?
Back. And
I feel old.
my mentor, and who I call the legend of TV, Barbara Walters, was here when I last was here, and it was an honor to be here.
Yay, Barbara Walters.
So you're working in the White House with the president. What exactly are you doing? And do you genuflect in the morning? That's what I want to know. What are you doing for him?
So I am Director of Communications for the Office of
Comment,
Public
we don't know what that
Liaison.
means.
Really, we are the face, the coordination
Down in
between the
silk.
different
I
groups.
love you, ladies.
They want to have a voice and to inform the policy that's happening with this administration. And so I'm honored to serve all of the different groups who want to engage with this administration. In fact, right now I'm planning our Black History Month program, and it's going to be extravagant.
Oh, I thought that was kind of neat. I gotta tell you though,
You say you're working on Black History Month, and one of your jobs during the campaign was to reach out to the African American community.
Director of African American Engagement for the Trump-Pence campaign.
Right, but 94% of Black women did not vote for Donald Trump. They voted for Hillary Clinton. And how do you respond to the criticism that Donald Trump doesn't really understand the Black community, doesn't really...
it's a good response.
Let me finish my question.
Well, how many questions? Because that's about 3 or 4.
The criticism has been that
She's
he's
sharp.
just using you
She
for
is sharp.
optics and that he doesn't really care about the Black
first
community.
one, and then we can go through each step. First of all, African Americans traditionally vote Democratic. Let's just establish a historical precedent. They vote for the Democrat 94, 95%. So that's no different. But Donald Trump got 13% of the African American vote. He doubled what Romney got, and he is very, very excited about engaging with the African American community. Now, your second and third question I really didn't hear, so if you want to go through those again.
The criticism has been in the African American community that Donald Trump doesn't really care about the community, and in fact, he's just using you as objects.
First of all, no one uses me.
I love that he says that. First of all, no one uses me.
First and foremost, let me just tell you a little bit about myself, and then you can understand how I got where I am. I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio, in the Westlake.
Go Ohio!
Project. So I am the embodiment
She grew up in the
of
projects.
the American dream. I grew up on welfare, on Section 8 housing. My
So
father
did
was
we.
killed when I was 7 years old. I went to public schools. I went to Central Ohio, got to Howard University, and started to work in politics. So I earned my way to sit in the White House. No one gave me anything, okay? And I think that when you start talking about the African American community, you know, the last administration decided not to aggressively do African American outreach. They felt that if they helped all Americans, then the Black community would be helped. And that, you know, that really isn't the approach that we're taking. We have a very strategic plan of engaging this community. We see what's happening in the inner cities. We see that 56% of African American men under 30 are either unemployed or not in school. And we want to work to change that. We see the violence that's happening in Chicago. It's unacceptable.
I just want to interject here. When Donald Trump was doing his the
Campaign speech.
not the speech, but when he was
the thank you
actually talking, the debates with Hillary
Oh.
Clinton, and he talked about how bad the inner cities are. She rolled her eyes and was like, "Our cities are great,"
They're not great.
and that's what boggles my mind on why Black people don't understand. And this is not a racist comment, that traditionally, people are always being used for their votes.
Right.
Okay, let's just leave it at that.
Unacceptable.
Suppose they can't do what you did.
Unacceptable to see
Omarosa.
the amount of murders that are happening. 1 second, Joy. Because what's happening in Chicago, and there's not an uproar that so many people are dying and being shot, is unacceptable.
well,
and
let me
so
ask you
we
a
Black
are
Lives
going
Matter.
to address that. And this president already this
He's
week
talked about
tweeted
that.
about
He's
Chicago.
He talked about wanting to
I
bring
want
the
him
federal
to do
government.
anything there is to do to make sure that no family goes through what my family went through. My brother was murdered not even 5 years ago, shot dead in
It's
his
really
own
sad.
home. When I see these families in
Gives me
Chicago,
goosebumps.
700 or 800 families had to go through what my family went through. I had to sit in the courtroom with the man that murdered my brother. This is more than just politics. For me, Joy, this is my passion.
I understand what you're saying. I'm questioning, why do you think you were able to make it and all these other people could
You know,
not?
that's a bigger question than for a
Does
3-minute
racism
segment.
have
We're just
anything
talking
to
about a
do
bunch of
with
people
it?
dying,
And
but
there are a lot of historical things that has happened that other people could answer. I'm going to tell you about my life and my
But why do you
experience.
think President
I was
Trump-
able to make it. One
why do you
second,
think
Gretchen.
why do
I
you
was
think
able to
he
make
can
it because my mother
I love this
made
versus.
sure that we were in the church.
That's
that
what our
Christ
mom
was
did.
the head of our lives.
Our
that
mom-
Christ was the head of
education
their
was
lives.
at the top of every
Education.
single thing that we did.
I think
and
quite
she
common
kept
amongst
us
the
out
black
of
community.
trouble.
Blah, 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 blah.
And that's why I made it.
Whatever.
I can't speak because we're not all a monolith. The African American community is so diverse. But my mother and the sacrifice she made after my father was murdered is the reason
Her
that
mom-
I'm
her
successful.
father was
All
murdered, her
those
brother
things
was
that you say,
murdered.
and hats off for all
Thank
of your
you.
hard work in getting to where you are today. I guess my question is, what is it about Donald Trump, President Trump, that you see that will help
It makes-
change
they have a
the
hard
way
time
in
saying
which
President Trump.
African Americans are in our communities?
Well, I think that you all have gotten to know him as a business mogul, as an
Reality
entertainer,
star. Reality star.
as a reality star, now as the president of the United States,
You can't
Joy.
make it up.
But I know him. I know it's got to burn your blood.
Everybody can be president. He proved it.
It's got to be really, Joy, I know it's got to be really, really hard after, the last year and a half of all the things that you said about Donald to see him sitting in the Oval Office. I know it's got to be hard for you, but I have to tell you that I know
It kills
him.
me as a matter
And I know it
I
does.
love that.
But here's the great thing. You all know him as the president. I know him as a friend. I know his heart. I know the things that he's seen has never been reported on and probably folks won't ever
So we
talk
should
about.
listen to what he says?
I'm talking about my experience, Joy.
Yeah.
You can listen to what you want. You have decided to continue to hit him and hit him and hit him and not even give him a chance in his first
I'm
week.
waiting for
I
him
want
to
I will tell you
apologize.
I want to ask you though,
You want who?
I'm waiting for him to apologize for all the things he said about
You?
No, not to me.
He's
not to me.
explained
I was
everything.
To John McCain,
To
to
the
the
disabled.
handicapped, to
John
disabled.
McCain. There are three things they hit over and over again.
I think the message that he has about personally about school choice, about opportunity, about jobs, I think that message did get to a lot of people, and that's why a lot of African Americans, a lot of people who were in poverty, people of all genders and races came out. My issue is
African
that
Americans did not come out for Donald
they
Trump.
came out more than they had for Republicans in the past, and that
They
means
did,
something.
and you have to give some credit to that, Sonny.
I
Also have to move from campaign now. He's the president. We're no longer campaigning,
Here's my
so
question
those
for
same
you.
lines.
How do you
We have
bring
to
those?
go.
How do you bring the people in who are saying, you know what, no matter what, we're doomed, who are refusing to listen to the fact that a
never
lot
go
of
on
these
this
programs,
show.
in my opinion, will bring opportunity? How do you make those people who aren't inclined to
when
listen
we come back.
to listen?
Omarosa, we're going to commercial. When we come back, she can answer your question.
What I appreciate though is that as a black woman, she does get more respect.
Oh, she totally does. Yeah.
Omarosa. Okay, Jed, you were saying.
Yeah, I was saying that although some of these policies, school choice, whatnot, have a positive outreach, I think there are some who feel that because of the statements he's made that are divisive and whatnot, that we're doomed. And they have this philosophy of we're doomed. How do you reach those people to say, hold on a second, listen to what we're actually trying to do and give us a chance?
Well, I think that once people see the results, I mean, he's about delivering and being productive, and we've already seen from this first week that he is going to do exactly what he said he's going to do. And we can trust that if Donald Trump says he's going to give jobs, he's going to bring back manufacturing, that he's about America first, then that's what he means. And we've seen that in 5 days. And people who even disagree with him have to agree that this first week has been probably one of the most productive weeks of any.
It ain't been boring, folks, that's for
A
sure.
little off track as well, and he goes back to the crowd size at the inauguration and now the voter
Then they
fraud
just go back and they're like,
investigation
yeah,
of 3
but
to
what
5
about
million
this?
people
And what, I mean, like,
voting,
attack,
illegally.
attack,
And now you
attack,
have
attack,
Jason
attack.
Chaffetz, from Utah, member of Congress who says, I'm not going to start an investigation into this because I don't see any evidence of it. Is this a distraction for President Trump?
Well, I think that there's a time of adjustment. You know, he's not a politician, he's never held office, and he's moving from private sector to governing, and it takes an adjustment time. I think in the first 5 days he's done a spectacular job of dealing with the most important high pressure job in the world, and so we have to give him time to make that shift. And I believe that you will see that this president is going to be incredible for this country, and I am excited about what's happening with this administration. I'm very honored to be a part of it.
What if they find out in the voter fraud investigation that Hillary won the election? Will we do it over
We
again?
can't find that because she didn't win.
She won by 3 million more votes.
We have another segment of We Found Illegals Voting.
Right.
Anything is possible, but I think what's
Look up
more
Project
important right
Veritas.
now, I think about the families who lost loved ones in the tornadoes. I think about the families that the president talked about this week who became victims of violence because of illegal immigrants. I'd like to continue to talk about the election. It amuses me, but the truth is we have
It
real
amuses him,
issues.
too.
We have real issues and there are real Americans
Yeah.
who have problems that we have to address. So
No kidding.
you all can sit at the table and continue to talk about those things in the media, but we have a
He
job to
continues to
address.
talk about it.
We have
I have
a
a
job
question.
to make sure that the American people
Let
have
me
exactly
just-
what
let
they
me just
need.
jump in here real quickly. The day after the inauguration, millions of women marched around the world
I
to
don't even know who this
protest
chick is.
President Trump. Many were offended by some of the things he said along the way, but how did you remedy this as a woman? Did any of this resonate
I like her
with you?
response.
First, I'm an American. I'm a very proud American. So let's start with that. And I know people like to put labels. Omarosa's black, she's a woman, she's this. I'm an American first. And seeing those women march last week, it made me very proud. It's one of the most important fundamental rights that we have in this country. The right to assemble, the freedom of speech, and the right to protest. I love seeing that.
Number
And
one.
there is a march going on.
Here it comes.
There's a march going on right now, the March for Life, that I hope that you all will give the same type of coverage.
covered
that
it
you
yesterday.
did
yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah, we covered it yesterday.
But today it's going on right now.
I'm
and
sure
so
they
that same
covered
freedom
it.
should be afforded to all Americans. And I'm so glad
sure.
that the Vice President is probably preparing to speak at the March for Life right now.
But why do you think it's so divisive? It's so divisive in our society right
It's
now.
politics. You know, politics is a tough game. This is my second time in the White House, so I'm not really new to the tension that comes with it. What's new to me is just this desire to paint Donald Trump with this negative brush without giving him a chance to do what he said he was
Can I
going
just
to
ask
do.
you this? We've been talking about how divisive this election is, and Gretchen's been talking about how divisive this election is. We often say that it comes from the top. He did lead this very divisive campaign. Will we hear him
Have we-
apologize?
Don't you think the media
Clinton does it.
Will
Clinton need to apologize?
Yeah.
Right. She was very
But how do
divisive.
you do
Clinton
that? Stood by
wrote
everything
the
that he said.
nastiest campaign
And now
in
let's say that
history,
Reporter didn't make
in
fun
modern
of a
history.
cable reporter, but you can continue to say that. If you say it enough, people may start to believe it. Let me just say this as I close
didn't
this.
say that either.
Here we go
Don't
again.
keep throwing
Over.
things at me. I'm not going to really fall for that. What I will say is the American people can listen to me right now and right here. We are committed to making this country the best it's going to be. We're not going to look in the past. We're going to look forward and put this country first. And that's what's not been happening in the last 8 years. We're going to put America first. We're going to put people back to work. We're going to make sure people are safe. And that's what this
We want
president is
that
about.
same as you,
This is the
Omarosa.
table for you all to negotiate things that you want to talk about from the past. But I now work for this country,
Yes.
and I take my job very
Did we
seriously.
see his
and I
tax
am
returns,
very
do you
much
think?
see Joy.
Watch how she spins this. This is really funny.
Joy, as I see we only have 1 minute left. My handsome fiance traveled all the way here from Jacksonville, Florida, and he is in the audience. Girl, I'm talking about my man. No, boo. I'm talking about my man. We're getting married. I'm so glad that he's here. He's a Democrat. I'm a Republican. We get along just fine.
See his tax returns? Raise your hand if your answer is yes.
I just want to know if you're going to take his last name.
Oh, of course, he's my husband. He's going to be my husband in April. And I'm so happy that he's here with me, and he brings me such joy. And I hope that you one day can find that kind of joy in your life.
Oh, please.
When they go low, we go high.
That's right.
That was funny.
That was really entertaining. I have to tell you. And I wasn't a fan
That
of
was for
Omarosa's on the
your
show, but
viewing
that was just-
entertainment.
yeah.
I don't really have much to say about it except for if you are a black woman in America or a black man, use it. Use it because I gotta tell you, they these women on The View, they can't attack you.
Right.
They can't go after you like they could go after a white female and especially a white male.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Know that when you go into a room, you will have more people have to respect you more because of the past.
Right.
There might be some crazy people out there, some racist people out there, but
Right.
most people are so not wanting to be racist. Use it to your advantage. You can see what happened with Omarosa.
Yeah, instantaneously. There is just so much
These
respect
View
there.
women, on a scale of 1 to 10, were a 1.
Yeah, compared to what they could have been.
If this was if this was a white man,
Oh, forget it. He would have
ripped
been
him up one side and the other.
Well, and they
So-
did. Donald Trump. They were talking about him.
Right. So I'm just saying that use it.
Right.
Use it. Black women, you have this opportunity to speak where
Right.
other people can't speak. To
Yeah.
have respect, especially there is a reversal racism thing going on.
Oh, absolutely. We bend over backwards, just because, and it's across the board. It's like, okay, if Lee and I get in an argument and I'm the one in the wrong, the rest of the day, I'm kind of like walking on tippy toes. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that because of the past, because of what happened, because of the atrocities. Everybody is just they didn't even do it. They didn't have anything to do with it. But still, it's like, man, I want to make up for it.
Right.
I want to show you that I love you,
Yeah.
that I respect you, that I think you're fantastic. And we had this conversation in some comments with some different people, and I gotta tell you, Black people are just stinking awesome. They got more rhythm, they got more moves, they're more charismatic, they're just fun. Okay? So yeah, they have that going on, and it's super awesome, and they're beautiful. Gosh darn it, aren't they? Like, you never see an ugly Black woman. Like, you just don't.
Or an old one, even at like
Or an old
105.
one. Maybe like, 80, 105, and they look like 65 years old. God has blessed you guys so much. Use it. We love you all. This is Leah Michelle signing off at Resistance Chicks, where it's not a
Some racist
conspiracy
comments or
theory
something here.
if it's the truth. Subscribe, ring the bell to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Follow us on Twitter and leave comments. We love hearing from you. Give us the thumbs up and like and share these on your social media pages. Get it out there. We love you guys, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Offensive little white girls.
I was cold.